Yes. Hello, everyone. Hope this presentation finds you all well. Yes, I'm David Inkusi from Rwanda, and I'm the Heritage Sites Protection Specialist. Yes, first and foremost, allow me present to you an overview of our research project that was carried out in collaboration with Dr. Annalisa Bolin here in Rwanda. And basically, number one, the research highlights and examines community relations to heritage resources in the rural district of Nyanza. And it investigates the possibilities for more engaged models of heritage management, which can deliver better on agendas of decolonization and development. Yes, our research finds that Nyanza heritage stakeholders highly value heritage social and economic roles, but communities are also significantly alienated from these heritage resources. And in seeking to bridge this gap, we, the heritage professionals, have utilized the discourse of technocratic improvement, but community leaders emphasize ideas of ownership, drawing from the higher state level discourse of self-reliance and homegrown solutions. They mobilize actually state-owned attempts to filter developing and decolonizing initiatives through Rwandan frameworks to advocate for communities' right to participate in heritage management. This local agency offers a roadmap for utilizing favorable aspects of existing governance to push heritage management towards community engagement and decolonization. Next slide, please. Hello? Yes. This is basically the map of Rwanda, showcasing the 6 provinces that we have got in the country, and where the arrow points is where Nyanza is. Nyanza district is one of the 8 districts in the southern province of Rwanda. So we can go to the next slide. Yeah, this is the King's Palace Museum. Actually, this is the center of gravity, the main pull factor for tourism in Nyanza. It's the main reason why visitors come to Nyanza. So it's one of the unique heritage resources that we've got in the country, because it's the King's Palace Museum. And as you can see, that modern building was built in 1932, and it hosted the last king of Rwanda, King Mutara Rudahigwa. Yes, you can go to the next stage. So why Nyanza? Why Rwanda at this time? Like many African countries, Rwanda has got rich history exhibited in museums through language, music, dance, and the heritage sites located in different parts of the country. And despite the 1994 genocide against Tutsi that left Rwanda in shambles, the government's will and orientation towards conservation of culture, history, and heritage has been at the center of focus, with the significant and practical efforts on ground. And this has come out through resilience and hard work. The country came up with development strategies and the policies that were far-fetched from the past traditions, to find a way that works well vis-a-vis faced challenges. And of course, the journey into heritage sites management is progressive and certain, thanks to Rwanda Cultural Heritage Academy, in close collaboration with key stakeholders like Rwanda Development Board, GIZ, and district authorities. The heritage sector is still expanding and growing. To the tune now we have 80 museums in the country and over 500 heritage sites under the management of Rwanda Cultural Heritage Academy and the Ministry of Youth and Culture. There is, of course, vivid focus on made and realized in drafting cultural heritage policies and the laws to protect and promote these heritage resources of national importance. Like any other districts in Rwanda, Nyanza has potential heritage sites, and if well preserved, promoted, and sustained, can bring in socio-economic benefits to local communities living around these heritage resources. And Nyanza being a cultural hub, the district boasts of well-established museums, as I said, community-based tourism enterprises that pose a great deal to empower local communities around. The district now is actually a cultural tourism destination and well-positioned in the Southern Heritage Corridor of Rwanda. And it serves as a capital city for other 7 districts, as I said earlier, in the province. Nyanza district is blessed with 2 public museums and 1 private museum, the Rwanda Art Museum. We have the King's Palace Museums, as you have seen the upper slides. We have also the Homegrown Solution Museum. So alongside these well-established museums, the destination has documented 5 sites of outstanding value that form part of our national heritage. Besides, recently we introduced or set up Nyanza Culture Trails, where visitors can experience authentic walks through traditional pathways. And these 3 hiking trails, 2 of them, the Royal Trail and the Big View Trail, are certified as premium hiking trails. And the other 3rd one is also underway. I must say that these trails actually offer hikers an incredible experience that blends hiking with discovering Rwandan history and culture. Yes, we can go to another slide. Yes, we are witnessing systems and practices of heritage management experienced in many parts of Africa, actually, were all of colonial impositions. And this did not end at independence. The trend continued up to date. In many parts of African countries, heritage sites have, since colonial period, faced multiple problems that demand effective conservation and sustainable management approaches if the sites are to continue thriving while benefiting the present and future generations. From observation, some scholars like Webandoro have argued that actually colonization ushered into sub-Saharan Africa Western style of heritage conservation. So that's something that is still affecting African continent. And when we go to the global stage through UNESCO, ICOMOS, ICROM, means that heritage can only be seen as a technical, standardized, and non-flexible system with very little room for local communities. And this discourse at international level, of course, brings in the monumentality and physical remains at the expense of functionality, meaning, and community connections. So it's a challenge that we found actually within the communities that stay around these heritage sites. Yes, next slide. Yeah, this the photos. This one is where the former. It's also the former royal palace in Nyanza, and this is also a Catholic church that was built by Belgians in the 50s. So it's these are some of the attractions that one may visit when you are in Nyanza or hiking these trails in Nyanza. Next slide. Yes, this is also one of the sites. Ichuzi cha Nyamagana. Its history is related to the king, the last king of Rwanda, the one who used to stay in the King's Palace Museum, as I mentioned. So it's also one of the outstanding sites that we have got in the country. Yes, we can go to the next stage. Yes, here we are talking about some of the findings. The communities around actually felt that they are not consulted, they are not engaged, they are not in the planning process. They are disengaged, and one of them echoed and said, we don't want to see results. We want to be part of the results. So it's a strong message that was carried out from there, and because they see heritage resources as government projects, and that they are not concerned at all. So, and that's why they give less care to these resources. So, and one of them also said on the issue of ownership, said we cannot own what we don't understand. So there is an issue there that was raised, and they said ownership starts in mind. Until we are satisfied, these heritage resources will be neglected always. And all in all, we need to be trusted. So the issue of building trust between the central government and the local communities is something that we have to think about if we are to decolonize the management practices of the top-down approach, and instead of the bottom or grassroots approach. The next slide, please. Yeah, this is the Royal Trail marked with letter R. So it's really interesting when you're hiking around this place. You go seeing different things, farming activities, different activities altogether. So it's very interesting. And the hiking trails actually connect you to different heritage sites. So it's one of the way to promote these heritage sites in Nyanza and the country. Next slide. Yes, this is what I was saying before, or what some of the findings that the local communities told us. And the issue of ownership, engagement, building trust, self-pride, self-worth is something that they feel were scrapped off, and they need to have that sense of trust. They need to bring back that sense of responsibility in the management of their resources. Next slide. Yes, this is, as I said, Rwanda, we have 6 provinces, but this is the 7th province that is the diaspora. So Rwandans outside Rwanda have of the 7th province. So here, as you've seen, it was 2016 in San Francisco, and they had Rwanda Day, Rwanda Cultural Day, and the theme was Agaciro, that is self-worth, a heritage of dignity. So this is one way of creating that mindset of ownership. Whether you are in the country or outside the country, you have to feel of value. You have to be of value, and that's one way of promote our heritage, or to bring in these youth to come and own and visit these rich resources that you have got in the country. Yes, another slide. Yes, this is Inyambo cattle. These are unique species that are kept at the King's Palace museums. They used to be there during the time of the Rwandan monarch, but we restored these cattle to. These are unique attractions at the King's Palace Museum. Next slide. This is a big view trail. As I said, we have three. One is the Royal Trail. This is the big view trail. Destroyed by communities, and that's what piqued our interest to go and do some research and know why such amount of destruction was made. And communities were like, we were not consulted, we were not, we don't know what is, you want to take our land away. So there are so many things, but now through community dialogues, we have tried to restore some kind of peace, and I think no more destruction that is being done. Next. Yes, I think this is the end of our my presentation, and you can see maybe we shall share the link, and these are some of the publications, and I think we have more 3 publications coming up. And as I said, we are trying our best to see that we empower communities around these sites and restore a sense of pride and in managing these resources together. Thank you so much, Mwakoze, and thank you for listening. That's it.